The Israeli official would not divulge details of their conversation, or when the request took place, but the two leaders spoke on the phone on July 14, just days after Trump met Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan at the NATO summit in Brussels. A senior U.S. official told CNN that in exchange for Turkey's release of Andrew Brunson, who has been detained in Turkey since October 2016, Israel agreed to release Ebru Özkan. A 27-year-old Turkish woman held in Israel on suspicion of aiding Hamas, the Palestinian militant group that controls Gaza and has been designated a terrorist organization by the U.S. and Israel. The White House did not respond to requests for comment on Friday. Özkan was released from prison between July 11 and 12, a lawyer for Özkan told CNN. She was able to leave Israel for Turkey on July 15, one day after Trump spoke with Netanyahu. In an extremely unusual move, Israeli prosecutors permitted Özkan, who faces charges related to terrorism, to leave the country 2 weeks before her trial, effectively freezing the case against her. But the charges against her were not dropped. Brunson, an evangelical Presbyterian pastor from North Carolina, was arrested in 2016 during a government crackdown that followed an attempted coup. In March, he was formally charged with espionage and having links to terrorist organizations. If convicted, he faces up to 35 years in prison. He maintains his innocence. On July 18, 3 days after Özkan flew back to Turkey, a Turkish court rejected an appeal by Brunson's lawyers to have him freed. Then, on Wednesday, Brunson was released to house arrest and ordered to wear an electronic monitoring device. Trump and Vice President Mike Pence have had multiple conversations with Turkish officials regarding Brunson in recent weeks, an administration official told CNN, but those conversations have thus far failed to secure Brunson's freedom, and on Thursday, Trump threatened Turkey with retaliation. Trump calls for Brunson's immediate release. The United States will impose large sanctions on Turkey for their longtime detainment of Pastor Andrew Brunson, a great Christian, family man and wonderful human being, Trump tweeted. He is suffering greatly, the president added. This innocent man of faith should be released immediately, Pence echoed Trump's stance during remarks at the State Department on Thursday. If Turkey does not take immediate action to free this man of faith and send him home to America, the United States will impose significant sanctions on Turkey until Pastor Andrew Brunson is free, Pence said. While he's out of jail, he is still not free. In a phone call with his Turkish counterpart Thursday, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo underscored that it is well past time for this innocent pastor to come home, his spokeswoman said. Erdogan spokesman Ibrahim Kalin said that the threatening language from the U.S. was unacceptable. A senior Turkish official denied there was any connection between the release of Özkan and the case of Brunson. Describing the claims as completely baseless, Erdogan, Brunson is not a hostage since his election. Trump has raised the matter of Brunson's detention with Erdogan several times, and called publicly for his release. Trump and Erdogan spoke specifically about the issue during a mid-June call, according to the administration official. The White House has not issued a readout of that conversation. Erdogan has previously suggested that Brunson could be swapped for Fethullah Gulen, the U.S.-based cleric whom the Turkish government blames for the failed coup in 2016. Gulen denies any involvement. But in an interview with CNN's Becky Anderson in May, he said that Brunson was not a hostage, and that his case should be left to the Turkish judiciary. He also denied that the cases of the two men were comparable. There is the FETO terrorist organization and the leader is in the United States since 1999, he said, referring to Gulen's organization. And he's being harbored there. And he's not a convict. He's not even being detained. And we demand his extradition, and he's not being extradited to us, but there is a Pastor Brunson here, who is being currently prosecuted and he's allegedly associated with terrorist organizations. And you're asking for him. This is not hostage diplomacy, he said. It's not about that at all. Oren Lieberman reported from Jerusalem and Elise Labat reported from Washington. Judith Von Berg wrote from London. Evan Perez contributed from Washington, Gul Toyshoes and Jumana Karadshah contributed from Istanbul, Amir Tal contributed from Jerusalem and Lauren Morehouse contributed from London.